Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Mr. Lawrenson. Good morning, everyone. This is episode 85, and this is a stellar episode, right? But the audio is a bit strange because I used the microphone. Lukas played a prank on himself where he's decided to break his the wire that connects his microphone to the computer, and that's a USB cable. And you know how hard it is to get your hands on one of them USB cables. It's not as if we all just have hundreds of them lying about the house from every mobile phone we've ever had. No, we don't have them. There aren't endless amounts of USB cables. So he used his laptop microphone, but it still sounds good. I've just edited it. All sounds very, very good. This episode is brought to you by Pig Heart Boy. What's that? An advertisement? In a sense, yeah. So this episode is brought to you by Pig Heart Boy. What's Pig Heart Boy? Pig Heart Boy is a BBC children's drama that came out in 1994. And you're being advertised by it? In a sense, yeah. We did a Patreon exclusive episode about Pig Heart Boy because it was a strange film where Boy gets his heart replaced with a pig's heart. How weird. And we thought it was the exact kind of weird that us Pottervision boys love and you listeners may enjoy. So go on YouTube, put in Pig Heart Boy. It's only like an hour and a bit long. You can watch that for optimal listening or enjoyment of our Patreon exclusive episode. So if you'd like to listen to the Patreon exclusive episode of Pig Heart Boy, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Pottervision. We had a lot of fun recording that. And it also starred friend of the show, Lewis Shaw. We had him on to talk about Pig Heart Boy. Otherwise, Pottervision boys are going to the Edinburgh Festival in Edinburgh in August this year. If you'd like to come say hello, come say hello. Well, why not stick around and watch the show while you're at it? It's a good laugh. Otherwise, hell, why must I continue any longer? Here is episode 85.
Pottervision. Hello, wherever you may be, and welcome to the Pottervision podcast, the podcast where every single week, myself, Lukas, Kirkby, and this man waving and winking and blowing kisses, Tom Lawrenson, he's blowing the kiss and then catching the kiss before it gets to me. We talk about a chapter of the Harry Potter books in minute detail, as well as going off on random talks about random stuff. This week we're on episode 85 and we're on chapter 20. That's not right. It's not 25, is it? It's chapter 28, I think, of The Goblet of Fire, The Madness of Mr. Crouch. Tom, how are you?
I am well. I'm a little Christmas pudding of a boy. There is a 20 pence piece baked into the centre of me, and you are tasked with the duty of getting it out. Be careful, I have been set alight with brandy. Does that tell you?
Hey, I am going to dislocate my own jaw like Scooby and Shaggy do. I'm going to shove you in, swallow you whole, and then wait to see what comes out in the wash.
He's saying he's expecting the 20 pence piece to appear in the toilet bowl. So is this what the podcasts are going to be like now that you're in Germany?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a changed man. I've only been here 2 days, but I'm already thinking about pooing out a 20p coin.
He wants to poo out. Oh, come on, what are we saying? I'm all right, yeah.
Yeah.
My boy, my buddy has moved to the Isle of Germany. Yeah?
Yeah.
How's the
Speaking
move?
about swallowing money, I felt
Swallowing
very
money.
poorly. Yeah. I felt very poorly after swallowing a £5 note. The doctor gave me some medicine, but so far there's been little change. It's a classic joke. Does he like it? Oh, he's disappointed in me, listeners. He's disappointed. Yeah, I'm all right. So I arrived on the Isle of Germany, she said, about 2 days ago, and I'm here and I'm enjoying myself. I'm getting
Really? So,
myself ready to settle in. I need to be a citizen. I need health insurance. I need what else do I need? I need to have good grasp of the language, which I'm going to do. Sign up for my lessons, and something else I forgot. Oh yeah, I need a bank account as well. So that's my job for this week, getting them things done.
wow. How
Yeah.
was the flight, my dear boy?
I say the flight itself was all right, but it was late. Oh, it was
Did
an
you did
hour
you struggle?
delayed.
A lot of people have been struggling getting to the airport. Did you fly from Manchester Airport? Did you have to queue for long amounts of time, or what?
Yeah, the security was pretty bad. They only had about 4 lanes open, and it's the longest I've queued for security. But it was only about an hour, but it's still quite a long time, isn't it?
I think I
Mm.
speak for everyone on planet Earth when I say Manchester Airport is the most incompetent airport on the planet.
It is bad, especially when you're flying to Germany where everything's efficient, because Munich airport is, may I say, 10 out of 10. They know what they're doing, everything's all in order. So yeah, Manchester in comparison looks a bit shit, if you don't mind me saying.
I don't mind you saying. If anything,
Hmm,
I welcome Manchester Airport slander. They've got no one working there. It's too small, and they charge you £6 to even do a drive by there.
yeah.
They're
Well,
out
I
of their
tell you
mind.
what, we're all stood stationary in this queue. Right, nobody can move. We're all waiting to be in security. There's a man behind us working in the airport going, "Keep it moving, everyone. Keep it moving." Mate, we're in a queue. Where do you want us going? As if we're
just,
stood there
just
with a big gap in front of us. Oh, what do we do next?
come on, everyone, hump into the person in front. Hump into the person in front.
Come on, if you're not feeling somebody in front of you and behind you, you're doing it wrong. Come on, squash up.
Squash up, you. You in between two twins who are travelling at the same time. Oh, 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 oh.
I know, I was the meat and they were the bread. To hell.
So you got on the
I
plane,
know.
right?
Got on
Martina
the
by the
plane.
window.
Oh, me and Martina, we were separated on the plane. I was in
Well,
row
that's not a good
10
start.
and she was in row 22.
Were you turning round in your seat, kneeling on your seat, looking over your headrest to look at her the whole flight?
Whole flight, I had a
Oh.
terrible crick in my neck by the end. No, no, we
Yeah.
didn't see each other, but at one point, I know she won't mind me saying this, but Martina went to the toilet and she said hello on the way past. Do you mind me saying that you went to the toilet, Martina? No, she don't mind, she says. I
How?
won't say what it was, though. That's too personal.
What a
She went to
strange
the
thing to
toilet.
bring up. He could have just said, Martina walked past me and said hello.
Yeah, she did. She walked past me and said hello. Let's leave it there.
Um, so you sat in your seat alone, right?
Yeah. 10C, yeah.
Who, who's next to you?
Next to me are a northern couple. The man was asleep and the woman was doing a shoe-based word search. Yes, I had a nosy, had a look. What's she doing? It was a shoe-themed word search.
Did you fancy helping her out?
No, I would have been tempted, but she seemed to have it covered, to be honest. She got galoshes like that.
Knowing you like I know you, right?
Yeah.
Knowing you like I know you, I
Mm.
know that you would have been looking at that word search trying to find them, like without saying anything to her.
Yeah, I was a bit. I was having fun. Yeah. I was like, oh, where's
Right.
Wellington's? Having a little look. But he
So
was
what did
asleep.
you
I
do
didn't
on
want to
the
wake him up.
plane?
I listened to a Doctor Who audio drama. That's what I did on the plane. And then I had a half an hour nap. Hmm.
How was that?
It was all right. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I liked it. It was nice.
Did the did the staff of the plane say goodbye to you in English or German?
They said it in English. Yeah, yeah. Well, it was EasyJet, I suppose. It was in a
Beautiful.
British. Yeah.
Beautiful. Is there any sweeter language?
Probably. Maybe French. French is quite a sweet language, isn't
If
it?
there
Or
is, Egyptian.
Egyptian. Yeah. How have you been, my old mates?
Who,
Always.
me? I shall
Yeah.
tell you. I have been, since you left, I got into the fetal position. I crawled up under my desk and tears have been
Mm.
streaming down my face.
You look like one of them little gooey aliens you used to get in an egg, like curled up.
Mm. I have been well, Kirkby. I have been well. When did I last see you? You were around at my house.
Mm.
Was it before the weekend?
Yeah,
Not.
Wednesday.
Yeah, it must have been. Is that how long it's been? Wow. So, I have been plodding along like an octopus. Yeah. I went to IKEA yesterday. I went with my sister Alice, and I spent quite a bit of money. I'm going to do two hands now. I spent quite a bit of money on a desk, set of desk. What do you call it? Desk drawers. Yeah. I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, I need some
lovely.
desk drawers. I felt like my life is so unorganized. Desk drawers will help me get organized. And so far, so good. I've put quite a few things in there. Oh, they're in use, baby. They are in use. I put this very microphone in there, and so when I need to get it out, there it is.
Oh, fantastic.
Mm.
Do you know what? When
Um,
Martina and I made our little office, I think one of the best things we bought were two little filing cabinets. So a little drawer and then a little thing with folders in it. And I kept all my things nice and neat. It was very good.
that's lovely. Um, we had some food there. I got a schnitzel,
Lovely. I had schnitzel yesterday as well.
very German.
Mm. How brilliant. How wonderful. Good. Are you ready for this chapter 28? Bloody rundown, the madness of Mr. Crouch.
Yes.
Chapter 28, the madness of Mr. Crouch. Dobby gets his presents and he's happy he's got loads of socks. It's brilliant. And then Hermione's still upset about the elves being treated the way they are. And Winky, oh, Winky. She's drinking 6 bottles of butterbeer a day. She's not looking after herself. She's sad about Mr. Crouch. And she has lots of secrets about him that she likes to keep. Anyway, Hermione is getting lots of hate mail. Imagine who in an envelope. That's what she's getting. Lots of nasty messages, nasty words, and she doesn't like it. So that night they announced that they're going to be telling the champions what they're going to be doing. 9 o'clock, meet me at the Quidditch pitch. So they meet, what's his name, Ludo Bagman at the Quidditch pitch. And he says, why, aye, look at this maze. You're going to have to get through the maze and go over all the obstacles and the spells, and then you can be champion. And they're like, wow, that's great. Victor Krum takes Harry away for a private chat, wondering what the deal with Hermione is, and then they stumble upon the man himself, Mr. Crouch. He's gone a bit doolally, if you don't mind me saying. He's talking to himself, he's talking like he's in the past, he thinks Percy is a tree. It's not very good. Next minute, he's attacked Krum and ran off, and it's all kicking off. Karkaroff comes in, has a go at Dumbledore. Hagrid throws Karkaroff against a tree. Then Hagrid's a bit racist, talking to Harry. And then that's the end of the chapter. The madness of Mr. Crouch.
Mr. Crouch, you are, in a word, mad.
Mad. And we hope that was at the same time, listeners.
you're, you're a madman, Mr. Crouch. There is nothing we can do to help you. You're mad, you're bad, and I find you sad.
So, yeah, what a chapter, may I say.
Mm, mm, mm. What a chapter.
The
I was
madness of
thinking,
Mr. Crouch. Yeah.
isn't Dumbledore a funny name?
Oh, it's funny, isn't it? Dumbledore. Yeah.
It's such a funny name, and the country has become enamelled with it.
It's become enamoured with it, yeah. Dumbledore. Isn't it something to do with Bumblebee or something?
Yeah, some shit like that. But the thing is, people love saying Dumbledore, 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 Dumbledore. If you say it enough times, you go insane. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's tempting. Saying the word Dumbledore is like looking into the sun. We all want to do it, but you will go blind, right? Don't say
Yeah.
Dumbledore too many times. There's them things that are like, oh, if you go into the mirror at midnight and look in the mirror at midnight and say Candyman 3 times in a row, it appears. If you say Dumbledore a million times in a row, you will go insane. Be warned. Sorry.
Be warned. Hey, Martina and I saw that Candyman film, the new one. It was scary. He was like made of bones and was walking around. Nasty.
Were your
Wow.
were your teeth chattering?
My teeth were chattering. My spine was tingling. The hairs on the back of my neck were dancing around. It was
Was
scary.
your batty wiggling?
My batty was wiggling. It really was. Squeaky bum time.
Oh, not squeaky bum time.
Squeaky bum o'clock.
Yeah. Um.
They're trying to figure out what's gone on with this Mr. Crouch lad. So they decide to send a letter to Percy Weasley. They're on a hiding to nothing there, as if Percy is going to come back with any gossip. He's a he's an ass, and he's so bureaucratic. I don't think he'd even say what colour tie Mr. Crouch has got on, never mind what's wrong with him.
Percy is very much against the Weasley family, right? The boy cares more about career than he does his own friends and family. I've always been very weary of people who don't put family first, yeah? Especially considering Percy Weasley comes from a very good family, that look after each other, honourable family, have a lot of respect in the Wizarding world. Yet he treats his own siblings like criminals. Would your parents cover up the fact that if you murdered someone, would they lie for you?
No, I don't think they would. I think they'd be like, yeah, he did that, and he'll go to prison now.
My parents, on the other hand, it would depend on the circumstances, yeah? If I killed someone and, I don't know, maybe they'd been picking on me, they'd
Yeah,
cover
yeah,
it
yeah.
up. Whereas if I was like a crazy killer, that killed was like a serial killer, maybe they'd hand me in. Yeah. They said this to me when I was a teenager. I asked them outright. I said, would you lie for me if I murdered anyone? And they said, of course we would. Um, Important listeners, ask your loved ones, would they lie for you if you killed someone? Yeah, it's a really good measure of the kind of family you're in. It seems as though Lucas Kirkby, your parents, are more the Percy Weasley type.
Yeah, I've always said it. My mum and dad are Percy Weasleys. Yeah, I've stopped calling them Susan and Derek Kirkby. I say, hello, Percy Weasley 1. Hello, Percy Weasley 2. It's lovely to see you again. And they know what I mean. Yeah. They say, don't call us that. And I said, well, you don't tell the police then. Right? It's got to work both ways, this relationship, hasn't it?
But having said that, you have actually never asked them, have you? Would they lie for you if you killed someone? Maybe they would lie to you. It'd be worth finding out, wouldn't it?
It would be worth finding out. Next time I ring my mother, I'll ask her. I'll ask them separately, actually. I wouldn't like them to confer beforehand. I'd like to see what they
Yeah.
individually believe.
I asked my mother the other day, I said, Mother, I was on the phone to her. I said, because I was reading something about narcissists, and I said, do you think I'm a narcissist? And then she said to me, do you think you're a narcissist? And I couldn't answer.
Oof. Well, that's the whole
But the
idea, isn't it?
But the very fact that I was questioning whether I was a narcissist must mean I am not a narcissist. Listeners, rejoice! Your leader is not a narcissist. Now,
You don't
please
know,
send me.
listeners. He followed those questions up with, "Am I beautiful? Tell me how beautiful I am, mummy. How lovely is my hair? How wonderful am I as a person?" I think he
Mm.
might be a narcissist.
But listeners, if you'd like to congratulate me, send me a DM. Well done on not being a narcissist.
How did he end up getting his downfall at the end, Narcissus? I don't know that story. He was always looking in the mirror and then something went wrong. He died or something.
I believe he fell into a river looking at his own reflection and drowned.
It was him. So if you're a self-centered, lovely looking person, get a mirror. Don't look in the river at yourself. Get a mirror.
It goes without saying, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Don't look in the river, look in a mirror.
Because as well, a mirror's better for a reflection. Yeah, a river, it's going to be all wavy and there's a current going through and fish might be swimming about. Whereas a mirror, you get what you're looking at. What you see is what you get.
Speaking of reflection, it is important to reflect on the importance of elves in the wizarding world. They seem
Yes.
to be vital, right? They think, do we need them? Hermione is campaigning for them to not be, used to be these unpaid workers in the wizarding world. They should be free. I reflected that they're not necessary at all, to the point that in the films, all this subplot was taken out because it's not very interesting. If only they had cut it out the books. Listeners, I would like you to join me in ripping the pages about elves out of your books.
Yeah. Rip the pages out. We don't want to hear about it. It is a bit boring, isn't it? I don't know what all this subplot with Winky is. What secrets does she know about Mr. Crouch? Is it the big secret that we know? Or is it other things? Because she says, "Oh, I've got secrets about Mr. Crouch." What could they be? Mr. Crouch
I
has a
know.
copy of Nuts magazine under his mattress. Now, we don't want those kind of secrets, Winky. We want to
Do you
know
know the
about his
secret?
son.
Do you know the secret?
No, what's the secret?
Bart, his wife is buried at Azkaban.
Oh, instead of his son, is that right?
I think so.
Oh,
Hello.
hello,
Goodbye,
mother.
mother.
Oh, that scared me. Hey, that's a bit of a spoiler for me. I didn't know that.
Bit of a spoiler.
Hmm,
Man has a Harry Potter podcast.
yeah. When you said
Hey, don't
secrets, I
forget.
thought it'd be like, I don't know, which celebrity he fancies or something. Not that his wife's buried.
There is a few formats for Harry Potter podcasts. There is formats where one person is reading them, having never read them before. Sometimes they are joined by their friends who have read them before, and it's like how someone reads it the whole time. Then there are other podcasts where people who are experts about the books go through it like chapter to chapter and discuss it in detail, giving new insight and theories. And then there is the Pottervision podcast, where the boys have read the book series once and they are now reading them and have a bit of an idea of what happened. Mostly have a Harry Potter knowledge based on the film. Bit of guesswork, never look anything up, and just be satisfied with giving ourselves a pat on the back after an hour of podding each week.
That's us. And that is our unique selling point that gets listeners in. Yeah. There are loads of podcasts where people know what they're on about. And there's loads of podcasts where they don't know anything. With us, we know a bit and nothing more. You're welcome, listeners.
Dobby, where's Winky? By the fire, miss. Be careful, Dobby. You're going to burn Winky. It says in this bit, Winky was so filthy, I argue you should give Winky a wash in the sink.
Yeah, get Winky in the sink and wash that Winky. She's dirty, right? She's covered in beer. She's smelly. She needs a good sorting out, doesn't she? She needs like somebody to come and just get her back on track, don't she?
Are you telling me? It's sad that it's got to the point where Winky is not looking after herself, that she's not cleaning herself, she's getting hammered on butterbeer, which I did not know had any alcoholic content. How about that, where Dobby goes, Harry says to Dobby, "Oh, it's not very strong." And he goes, "It is strong to us, sir." Right, it's sugar.
Maybe that's it. They just get hyperactive. But yeah, it's implying that there's actual beer in it. Like, I don't care what percentage it is. Kids shouldn't be having that on the weekend, should they? It's
No.
like giving them WKD or something on a school trip.
Do you know
All
what? It
right.
is exactly like having WKD on a school trip.
Right, kids, off you go. Only WKD, mind. If you had enough, you'd get pissed. That's all
Mm.
I'm saying. You give kids an
People
inch, they'll take a mile.
people are trying to poke and prod Winky, right? They're trying to get
Always.
secrets out of Winky. But
Mm.
Winky is stiff in
Oh, yeah.
Listeners, do you like this? Listeners, do you like us alluding to the fact that Winky's name sounds like a part of the male anatomy? Do you
Yeah.
enjoy that?
Well, at one point, she actually says the line, Master is needing his winky. Right, there's no need for that. Right, you're having a laugh now. We've been having a laugh, but that's actually in the book.
Right, right. We all our hands up, right? The Pottervision boys have been having a laugh, right? And if that's against the law, I want you to cuff us, strip our bottoms raw, and spank our nude botties, right? My
Mm.
bottom, Lucas's batty. Right? I want you
Yeah,
to spank
exactly.
them till they are red and clearly, I don't know, skin's broken. But
Yeah,
if that is the crime for having a laugh,
yeah. We're guilty, Your Honour.
how much would you shave your head for?
Um, for me personally, I don't know, 100 quid, I'd shave my head. It'd grow back quick, wouldn't it? Wouldn't bother me.
It's in euros now. You'd get 92 euros for that. No,
Oh,
110 euros, eh?
oh, yeah, that's that one. Yeah.
And you can spend that however you like.
Yeah,
That's your
exactly.
money. What's
How
on
much would it
what's
take
on
for
the
you to
euro
shave your
over
noggin?
there? How
Hmm?
much?
Yeah,
Me? How much?
completely bored like an egg.
£100,000.
Okay, fair enough. So, if anyone wants one of us to shave their heads, I'm the cheaper option.
Good.
Good. I'm glad we got that sorted.
A lot of these books revolve around these three, and although it is like, fitting they are adolescents, but they are in a mood a lot of the time.
Oh, there's a lot of sniping and bickering and arguing. But I think this is that book, isn't it? This is like the teenage hormones growing up puberty book, isn't it? There's lots of like fancying each other and mood swings and falling out and
Mm,
bad dances and all this kind of rubbish.
mm.
I can't wait for it all to be over by the Order of the Phoenix. Because
I would
adults do
really
none of that.
like. The thing is about books always have to be about something. Do you know what I mean? They've always got to be an
Mm.
adventure, something happening. How about we just have a book about the day to day? Nothing.
Come
Like,
on.
I want a book about the year after, Voldemort's defeated, where Harry gets a house,
Yeah.
gets a job. Maybe like, it's just a
Yeah.
a
Like one
transcript of
chapter
a
for each viewing, you know.
Yeah.
Chapter 3, two-bed semi-detached in Surrey. It's all right, that
Like,
one, wasn't it?
there's no stakes, but it's just interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like, he goes
Yeah,
on
yeah,
one
yeah.
viewing, and he's like, "Oh, it's all right here. It's all right here." But then he goes in the toilet and he notices that there's like a wee and a poo in the bowl and no paper, and he's like, "Where's the paper? And why has that not been flushed?"
Yeah, yeah. And even though it's a beautiful house, that puts him off.
That puts him off completely. He's like, "Oh, no, sorry." Wouldn't that put you off? It'd put
Oh,
me off.
100%. Even if it was a mansion and they were selling it for like 10 quid, there was a poo and a wee in the toilet and no toilet paper. I'd be like, who's done that? Because I don't know about you, but I always check to see if there's paper. And also, regardless of paper, this is like a double mystery. Regardless of the paper, why have you not flushed? If my ass can't be clean, then neither can the toilet. I'm leaving. What's the
you,
logic of that scenario?
you do realise you've got a house viewing today, hey? Right? If I don't get a clean house, I'm not asked about selling the house.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
this is your house. Buy some toilet roll. No.
Look, I'm your solicitor. Why am I having this conversation with you? Shouldn't even be here.
When I was an estate agent, I used to be an estate agent, and I'd have to do checks on people's houses once a year. I'd go around the house and like
Yeah.
visit people and just make sure everything was intact. You know, they weren't doing anything that they shouldn't be doing there. There was no mold up the walls or anything like that. Um, and so I went to one house, not too far from me actually. It was in Stockport. I was going round, and maybe I was out of order doing this, but I was going around. That flat was clean. The house. I go in the toilet. There's a wee in the toilet with a piece of toilet roll over it, and I was like, and I flushed it.
No, that's perfectly fine, I think.
So I as well
Because the
flush that
problem
wee.
is, because the problem is, if you go in and someone's left a mess, I'm I'm so paranoid about coming out and someone thinking I did it. So I feel like it's my responsibility to clean it up, otherwise I'll be under suspicion.
Yeah, but this person was home alone and they were in the house. So
Yeah,
that
that's
so
true.
what if they approached? What if they confronted me on it? Excuse me, did you flush my wee? Yes, I did. I don't flush wees. I let them build up, and I'd wait till I've had to make the other one. Then I'd flush. Well, that's disgusting, right? This is a rental. You don't own this place. We can't have them fumes in the air. We'd have to repaint every couple of years.
Right, well, this rental does not include bills. I am taking that flush out of my rent from next month, all right? I say it's down to you.
You're on the phone complaining about me. Your agent came round, right, and they flushed my toilet. Oh, right, at the UG toilet. No, there was a wee in the toilet. Right. Uh, I want him sacked. What? I want him sacked. I'm leaving this tenancy early, and you will never relet it. It's winter. No one wants this house. Oh, all
Oh,
right, he's sacked.
you know what? It's so bad, but we've done like 90 episodes or whatever it is of this podcast. I very rarely lose it, but it's always Pooh and Wee that does it without
Is it?
fail. Yeah, dear. I'm
When else have
ashamed,
we lost it
listeners.
on this?
We were off our moaning Myrtle. Thinking that people were throwing food at her head, but she's just in the toilet.
The thing is, though, right? Even in death, even if I did
Yeah,
die in a bathroom and I could travel through things, I would never
yeah.
be tempted to get in the toilet.
No, just move. Go by the sink. What are you
No,
doing
just
down
travel
there?
through walls. Travel through walls.
Yeah, and also, you didn't die in the toilet, did you? You were on the toilet. So what are you doing in it? That's not where you
She didn't,
died.
she didn't die on the toilet. She was stood on her feet.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, crying.
No, she walked out of the toilet and then saw the basilisk.
Oh yeah, that's it. Even more so then. No need to be down there.
So yes, I'd like a book about Harry Potter going on viewings and
Huh.
accidentally seeing unflushed waste in a toilet. So if you could write a book about that, J.K. Rowling, I'd happily buy a copy.
Harry Potter and the half-flushed prop. That's what I want to see.
And I'd stretch a podcast about the said book
That's
over a year.
yeah. Oh, if that comes out, we're covering it. That is an absolute given.
That's a promise. That's a Pottervision promise. We both hold both our hands up and we say that is a Pottervision promise. Get your other hand up. Pottervision promise. Mm.
Oh. So, anyway, that's this chapter. We're half an hour in and we haven't mentioned anything.
Nifflers.
Hermione. Go on.
Nifflers.
Oh, yeah, little baby nipples. Yeah.
I completely forgot about Nifflers. I assumed they were a new thing created for that new Fantastic Beasts film.
Yeah, I did.
And then sure as you like it, right in the book right here. Niffler.
Niffler. They're little, fluffy black things with long snouts, and they're attracted by shiny things. It's
It's
a
a
mole
platypus who likes
magpie.
gold. It's a
Yeah,
platypus who likes gold.
yeah. It's magic, isn't it? It's a platypus who likes gold. Yeah. That doesn't make it magic, does it? Oh, it's a snake that likes chips. It's not magic, isn't it? That's a right. Humans can't have access to a niffler. No magic.
I think she's gotten as lazy as the people who made the Pokemon. One Pokemon is just a duck holding a leek.
It's very embarrassing that I know that that's a far fetched. I used to be obsessed with that as a kid. Very
Far-fetched.
obsessed. No, no, just Pokemon in general.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, because most of them are just animals, aren't they? But they've got like new ones out now. One of them's an ice cream with a face. That's not a creature, is it? An ice cream with a face. And it evolves into a double cone. Hey, that's good. The third evolution's a triple cone with a flake in it. Fantastic. They're animals, aren't they?
This one's a magnet with some screws in it.
Look, it's the creatures. It's a magnet with some screws in it. Eh?
This one's a Pokeball. What?
This one's a bit of mud. A bit of mud. That's a bad Pokemon. A bit of mud. Terrorists use him.
There's a ghost. This one's a ghost, okay?
Yeah.
Do you understand me?
That one's a fairy. Right, what's happened to these creatures now? Ghosts, fairies, mud. Right. Supposed to be animals here. Right?
This one's a
And look,
lion. Well, that's too lazy. It can't
that's
just be a
too
lion.
late. Yeah.
He breathes fire. Fine, fuck it. Whatever,
Right,
do you
we'll have
want.
that. We'll have that, yeah.
A bundle of
Right.
string. What are you saying?
It's lovely. It's a bundle of. Ooh. Oh, they're clever, aren't they? How do they come up with them?
Mm. Yeah. What were you saying about Hermione?
I was just saying she's decided to subscribe to the Daily Prophet, hasn't she? So she can get ahead of the Slytherins with all these news articles. And I wanted to know if you ever subscribed to anything when you were a kid, any magazines or anything like that.
Hmm. I went for a run of trying to collect some magazines because they start you off. First edition's £1, then after that, each one's £4.
Yeah.
There was a Horrible Histories like magazine. I got that for a little
Oh
bit, but I
yeah.
just gave up on
Mm.
that.
Well, I think I only ever had about 3 editions of this magazine, but I decided to buy a calligraphy magazine where you learnt to write fancy.
Yeah.
But it was boring, so I stopped.
My sister Alice went to the post office and said, I want you to order me in, when it comes in, CSI magazine, right? CSI magazine, you
Oh,
got a
yeah.
DVD with each copy with 2 episodes of CSI on it, right?
Yeah.
And you got a magazine with it. And so she said to the post office, she said, I want, put in the subscription, I'm going to come and get them every week or say every 2 weeks, whenever it was. She did
Yeah.
2 weeks and then she stopped going. But the CSI magazine kept coming to the post office. Edition, edition, edition,
Yeah.
edition. They were calling up all the time. She was dodging their calls.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think my parents had to go in and buy them all.
Oh, my goodness. That must have set him back a few bob.
Mm. We had to remortgage the house.
Yeah, yeah.
No holidays that year. Hey, speaking of, actually, once I might as well tell it because it's relevant. But we were talking about Pokemon and something my sister Alice did. She also, there was like a magazine and it was like, you could win £100,000 if you ring up and tell us what your favorite Pokemon is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
each call was £1 a minute. And so she called up and she kept calling.
Hello?
And
Ball of string. Saving me money.
and why, unfortunately, and why?
Oh,
Ball of string. Why? It's a ball of string. And then she
yeah.
got when the phone bill come, she got scolded for that.
Oh, dear. Why, how long did she talk to them for?
It's not the length; it's the amount of time she called.
Oh, right. Lovely. How many favourites has she got?
She was saying different ones to up her chances.
Yeah. I've changed my mind. It's the double cone ice cream. It's good. Boop.
I don't think she spent that much in the end. I think it was like 50 quid on like phone
Mm.
calls.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like, I don't know. My parents were acting like, they were acting like it was the end of times. Bit of an overreaction, mum and dad. About time you grow up.
Says the person ringing someone up to tell them what their favourite Pokemon is. That
I
time you
didn't
grow
do
up, Mum
it.
and Dad. By the way, it's Bulbasaur.
They've got the argument on the phone. Yeah, I'll stop calling him up when you stop overreacting. Charmander.
Sorry about that. It's the vines on the back. All right, see ya.
Duck with a leak. Has anyone said that?
Oh dear. Can I just say, you talking about the Nifflers? Since he went on that mental health leave of absence, Hagrid's care of magical creatures lessons have been top notch. He's really upped it, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
We had unicorns, and now we've got baby Nifflers. It's a fun little game, isn't it? Pick your Niffler, and whoever gets the most coins gets a free bar of chocky. That's good, isn't it? It sounds fun.
Job done, Niffler.
And Ron is like, oof, I wish I could have a Niffler, then he could find gold for me and my family. And Hagrid
Yeah,
goes,
he was
yeah,
going
go
on.
on.
Go on, sorry. I was saying, he was like, oh, why do I have to be poor? We can't stress this, Ron. You're not that poor.
Yeah, come on.
Poor people
You're
don't go
all
to boarding
right.
school. Twat.
Yeah. I think he needs to be like taken to like a slum and just be shown the people in there. Like, Ron, this is poor. This is poverty. You live in a 3-story house. You've
I
got
want
your own
him to come and
ghouls.
see. I want him to come and see how I live.
Yeah. Yeah.
I live like an inhuman animal. I am eating out of the bin. I am going days without
Yeah.
washing. I am I've given up on brushing my teeth. My teeth have turned to mush. They have all fallen out.
Yeah.
People can smell my pits a mile away. They say they stink. I go on walks. My clothes rot off because they are that worn. I am walking around in the nude. Ron, take a look at me, pal. I'm not doing too good.
This man here has lived in this house for 3 years and he's only just bought himself some drawers. Right? That is poverty. Count yourself lucky, lad. I know. Well, because he was like, oh, I'd love to have a niffler. And Hagrid was like, oh, your mum wouldn't be happy about that, Ron. She doesn't like any easy ways out of financial hardship. When's she going to rent out that paddock, eh? She don't like it. Easy
And
ways
also,
out.
right, so there's this issue with the Daily Prophet spreading rumours about Hermione and Harry having a little love affair or whatever, yeah?
Yeah.
And now everyone's treating Hermione like crap. People are sending her attacks in the post, which
Well,
no one seems to be taking seriously whatsoever.
one of them was like acid that she's had to go to the hospital wing for. That's not going to be followed up, is it?
She's struggling with cutlery. Her fingers are all pussed up. Hang on.
Lost you briefly then.
Here we go. She's struggling with cutlery. Her fingers are all pussed up, right? And everyone's like, ugh, no, shut the school down. That is, someone needs to be arrested for that.
Yeah, 100%. And it's very weird, like, who in their right mind is sending these things to a child? Oof, I don't like this. I'm going to send her some acid.
But also, Mrs. Weasley sends Hermione a tiny little chocolate egg, doesn't she, compared to everyone else's?
What's that about? Is she jealous for Ron or whatever? What's that
No,
all about?
she's been reading in the paper and she believes it.
Come on,
But like,
Molly.
how stupid do you have to get? Dry up,
I know.
Weasley, you old prune.
Well, I don't think she's ever met Hermione, has she? Oh no, she might have done in like Diagon Alley or something like that. Yeah.
No, she stayed over. Hermione stayed over in the thingy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh, come on, Mrs. Weasley. What's up with you? And what? And also, how petty. Oh, I won't tell her directly. I'll just send her a small Easter egg so she'll know. Don't be doing that. How petty.
I'll tell you what, nothing makes me be more disgusted than when I walk to a toilet and I see unflushed waste in it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's horrible, isn't it?
I'll walk, say I'm in motorway services, I go into one and I see unflushed waste, I'll go, I'll say out loud, I'll go,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
FFS. If you
Yeah.
don't know what that means, it stands for fuck's sake.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Four of them.
For fuck's
Mm,
sake. Right?
yeah.
And I can't be around it because of the essence it leaves and the space in the air above it. That's that. So I have to. But a lot of the time, I will flush it. I can't bear it being there, so I flush it.
Yeah, yeah. It
I
needs
work
to
in a
be.
building. Go on.
Oh, you work in a building?
I work in a building with professionals, right? And adults in this building, sometimes we on the seat and also don't flush their waste. And I'm like, what is happening? We're all adults here. Is that what you do at home? Do you piss on the seat at home? Do you not flush your waste at home? Because it's disgusting.
Come on. Flush it down. What's our Pottervision message for this week?
Flush it down.
So they're summoned by Ludo Bagman at 9 p.m. at the Quidditch pitch, and they see that there's a maze growing, a hedge maze. It's exciting, isn't it? How are you going to prepare for that, do you reckon? Do all those like puzzles in the back of annuals. We have to get from one end to the other. You start at A, you've got to end at A. I know, how do you prepare for a hedge maze?
Press ups, running.
Press ups, running. Okay. Press ups, running, hedge maze done. Yeah. Yeah, they need a bit more info, don't they? What are these creatures that you're on about going to be? What are these spells that we're going to have to counteract? We need a bit more, Ludo Bagman. Can't just be it's a maze.
I agree.
And then we actually have quite a nice moment with Krum and Harry. So Krum takes Harry away, and he's like a bit defensive about Hermione or whatever he calls her. It's a seagull mug about Hermione, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on between you and Hermione?" And Harry's like, "Nothing, nothing. We're friends. We're friends." And have a nice little conversation where Crum's like, "You fly really well," and Harry's like, "I love that Vronsky feint you did at the World Cup." And isn't it nice to give each other a compliment? Why don't we give each other a compliment now?
The lengths you will go to get a compliment.
Go on, it'd be nice.
He starts a Harry Potter podcast with me because he knows 90 episodes in, he'll manage to get a way to get a compliment. Jesus Christ. You are very cunning.
Thank you very much.
I'll give you a
You-
compliment.
Yeah, come on then.
You are one of the most hardworking people I've ever met in my life, and few people can make me laugh as hard as you make me laugh.
Hey, that was a bloody nice one, wasn't it? You, on the other hand, are the most bouncing baby boy I've ever met. You've got a very kind face and the body of a god.
Be aware, listeners, sometimes the compliments will be false. I am not a baby, I'm a man, I don't have a kind face, I have an angry face, and if anything, my body, the god that my body is Buddha, because I am a big fat bloater, right?
No, right, hang on. If you're Buddha, you're young Buddha. When he had long
Skinny Buddha.
hair and a nice body. Skinny Buddha, yeah.
I'm in between Buddha, right? When he was in between fat and skinny.
I know we never get that Buddha, do we? When like the hairline's receding and he's got a bit of a beer belly. It's always like one or the other. Either like young
Yeah.
Buddha in his 20s or big bald bloke with a belly.
Where's Chubby Buddha? Bring Chubby
Yeah.
Buddha out.
Come on. How do we get there?
I miss Chubby Buddha.
So anyway, they get interrupted by Barty Crouch. We've not seen him for about half the book, but he's chatting rubbish. He's running around. He's talking to trees. It's scaring me. Scary. Hey, there's a bloke. Yeah, go on.
It is frightening when an adult rambles at you. Say, if you go out when you're a teenager, say just to town with your mate, and say, I don't know, you see crazy people for the first time, people who jump out and they harass you and say things or like just scare you. It can be quite frightening because beforehand you've never had any rambly people at you, and especially if you've been grabbed by an adult when you're a kid. When an adult grabs you as a kid, there is no way of getting them off you. They have a strength that you can only imagine, right? So I can only imagine what Harry was feeling when Barty Crouch would not let go of him. Fear.
Oof, horrible. Yeah, crazy people walking around. I tell you what, somebody I'll miss having moved away from Blakely. There's a guy who wanders around called. I don't know if have I ever mentioned Pinder to you, Tom?
No.
So he's a man. He's always got a fluorescent yellow jacket on and sometimes fluorescent trousers. And he walks around like that. He's bald, right? And we're not sure if he's homeless, but he's the nicest nutter you could ever wish to meet. He always when I'm driving past, he always thumbs up to me in the car like that. And I came out of the chippy last week, and he went, "Nice one, kid," and kept walking off. And I'm sure one day he called Martina beautiful and said she had nice clothes on.
That's lovely. Do you know what's really funny
I
about
know.
you? You'll have walked out of that chippy Now thinking you've done a good deed buying yourself chips. Nice one, our kid. Thank you.
Thank you. I feel better already. Yeah, so what a legend. Yeah, local Blakely legend, Pinder. Hey, did we enjoy that sound effect, listeners? We hope you did.
Yeah, so Harry runs into the castle.
Yeah,
Dumbledore, I must be Dumbledore. And Snape is being obtuse for no reason, going, no, go
yeah,
away. Surely, if a student says, Barty Crouch is in the forest,
yeah.
dishevelled, speaking crazy things, warning of awful things, believe him.
Yeah, come on,
I
Snape.
know I know you
Let
think
the
he's a
bygones be
liar,
bygones. Yeah,
but if someone is complaining about the welfare of another person, you know, if someone's raising the alarm over the mental state of someone else, go and investigate. You've got a duty
yeah,
of care at that
100%.
school.
Because if Dumbledore hadn't turned up and Snape had just ignored him, and next thing we know, Barty Crouch is dead, that's on you, Snape, because you didn't respond to the safeguarding concern that was presented to you by students. You must pass them on. It's a rule in all British schools. If you hear a safeguarding concern, you must pass it on within 24 hours.
Mm,
Otherwise, it could be too late for something happening.
mm. And the
So,
thing is about
Dumbledore,
teachers, care workers, support workers, they are often damned if they do and damned if they don't. Too dark of a subject to bring up.
he's right, but we won't dwell on it any further. So Dumbledore finds Harry, and Harry takes him to Krum. Barty Crouch has disappeared, and Krum is stunned on the floor, and Dumbledore revives him. Is there anything that this old bastard can't do? God, he's brilliant. He can revive someone who's fainted. He can arrest a momentum, a broom. He can turn streetlights on with his flickery watch.
You can
His
go to
flickery
sleep
lighter
while doing
thingy.
these things. Arresto moment.
Oh, Dumbledore's gone. Saved Harry though, didn't he? Don't wake him, don't wake him. And then Hagrid fetches Karkaroff, who is wearing sleek silver furs. Interrupted his burlesque show, did you, Hagrid? Why is he wearing sleek silver furs?
Da da da
Da,
da da
da,
da
da, da,
da.
da, 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 da. Why is he wearing this at night? Sounded very alluring. And then Karkaroff accuses Dumbledore of foul play and he spits at his feet. It is the fourth unforgivable curse, spitting.
The worst curse of all, according to the Pottervision boys. What is the first
Yeah,
thing you swear to never do when you listen to this podcast? I will never spit in public. Spitting will be
yeah,
done in the sink while the water is running or into a piece of tissue paper and flushed. Them's are the rules. Stick by
yeah.
them.
And don't be spitting near somebody's foot. How
Yeah.
confident do you have to be with your accuracy to do that?
Oi!
That's gonna be laces. Is that what you wanted? It's gonna be laces, that, Karkaroff. Bugger off.
What have you been eating, Karkaroff? Is that chocolate in it? That's disgusting.
A bit of chuddy just came out. Horrible. And then it all kicks off. Hagrid then picks Karkaroff up and slams him into a tree. Then Dumbledore sends Hagrid to take Harry. It's all very exciting, isn't it? This chapter is ramped up. Crouch mucking about, knocking out Krum, Hagrid throwing Karkaroff up on a tree, spitting. Bloody hell, I've not seen Dumbledore like this before either. He was very stern with Hagrid.
Dumbledore and Hagrid are both acting like Hagrid isn't a teacher at that school. Dumbledore's like, go and get Karkaroff, Hagrid. Because that's not his role. Fetcher of
Yeah,
people.
Yeah, I'm
And
keeper
then
of keys,
also,
not fetcher of
Hagrid,
people.
you can't be throwing people about, can you? What are you doing?
Bloody hell, chucking someone up a tree. But he just loves Dumbledore, doesn't he? He loves him so much it hurts. And then Hagrid's a bit racist, going on about foreigners. I don't know if there's much more to say about that. And then Harry's back to the common room to tell Ron and Hermione what's been going on.
Right. How many out of 5, how many care workers on their last I'll do that one. How many teachers no wait, how many gobs of spit by a teacher's shoe are you giving this out of 5?
Do you know what? I really enjoyed this chapter. The first half of it was a bit like, whatever. Things are going on, things are moving forward, whatever. And then it ramped up. We hear about the task. We get a nice little moment between Harry and Krum. And then we get Mr. Crouch. We've not seen him for ages. He's raving and ranting. Snape's being a knobhead. Dumbledore's being brilliant. Hagrid's shoving someone up a tree. Karkaroff's spitting. I'm going to give this 4 gobs of spit next to a shoe out of 5.
Wow, that's quite a high score.
It is.
Myself, I enjoyed this chapter. Spitting, like, that is gonna get a visceral reaction out of me. Yeah, there was that bit where Harry saw an unflushed wee and a poo in a toilet. Brilliant, right? There was, you know, that alone makes me give this chapter 5 bits of spit next to a shoe out of 5. Right, are you ready for quiz? Tell you what, you can sing it.
Quizzy key, quizzy key, quiz cool. We're gonna ask you some questions. How well will you do? Quizzy key, quizzy key, quiz cool. Gonna ask you about Harry Potter, Lucas. How well will you do? I'll blow you a kiss.
This is it, listeners. This is the nation's favourite segment. It's me, David Bowie. Now it's me.
Enjoy David Bowie
Donald
then.
Trump. I was the first one. I was the first one to do a quiz, a virtual quiz at the start of lockdown. All my friends got on board and we did a quiz together.
Brilliant. You gonna
Question
ask any
1.
questions? Oh,
What was what was for lunch?
lunch. Eggs, kippers, and bacon.
No, roast beef and Yorkshire puddings.
Oh no,
Question 2. What does Ron hate?
he's poor.
Correct. Question 3. When did Hedwig return?
Oh, Wednesday night.
End of Easter holidays. Question 4. What colour were Dumbledore's robes?
Oh, silver.
Green. Question 5. How was Karkaroff dressed?
Oh, in sleek silver furs.
Correct. Unfortunately, you have lost the quiz. Quizzicky, quizzicky, quiz cool. Gonna ask you some questions. How well will you do? Quizzicky, quizzicky, quiz cool. Gonna ask you about Harry Potter, Lucas. How well will you do? You
I'll blow
lost.
you a kiss.
Yeah.
Now it is time for the nation's second favourite segment. It's Hedwig's Droppings. We're not alluding to owl poo. We're not alluding to ploppings. We mean the messages you send in when we allude to Hedwig's droppings. What's in a beak this week, Cheap Cheap? Well, we've had a couple of lovely messages. The first one is from Fraser Hodgkinson on Instagram. And he says, first off, I love the local references. I listen to you boys when I go to see my son who lives in Manchester, so listening to you guys gets me in the Manx spirit. Secondly, I have binged the whole podcast for the past 2 weeks, from start to finish. Bloody hell. How'd you manage that? You make my drive back to base in Yorkshire that bit more brighter. Thank you, boys. Keep on pottering. Thank you very much, Fraser. We've had another message from Hannah P on Instagram, and Hannah P says, lads, can I just say that I'm sitting my A-levels right now, and your podcast is literally getting me through them. You're so effing funny. So thank you very much for your services. Thank you for listening, Hannah P, and we hope you get all the grades you want. And finally, we've had a message. I agree, Hannah P. Finally, we've had a message from Catalina on the website. She asks us, if the Harry Potter characters were countries, what countries would they be? That's an intriguing question, isn't it? Like, where do you go? Do you go from Harry Potter character to country, or do you go from country to Harry Potter character? Where do you want to go?
I've got no idea how to answer this question.
Let's start off with the obvious one. Australia.
Draco Malfoy.
Draco Malfoy. Okay. Denmark.
Seamus Finnegan.
Seamus Finnegan. France.
Fleur Delacour.
Fleur Delacour. All right. Now for some harder ones. Trinidad and Tobago. Slughorn.
Barty Crouch Jr.
Barty Crouch Jr. So, the Maldives. Well, I mean, a grubbly plank. And that's all we're going to do for today. Hedwig's droppings. This has been the Pottervision podcast. Thank you so much for listening. It is greatly appreciated. As always, we're on Patreon. There is loads of bonus content, and we are, I think by the time this is released, we'll have done a brand new episode on Pig Heart Boy. Looking forward to that. And also, there's loads of other stuff as well. Catch us on there, patreon.com/Pottervision. We're going to be at the Edinburgh Fringe this year. We're going to be there every day from the 4th till the 24th at 1:30. So just check out the ticket links at Pottervision.com. Otherwise, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Give us a 5-star review. Look on our website, Pottervision.com. Whatever you want to do. Next week, we are on episode 86, and we are on chapter 29 of The Goblet of Fire, The Dream. You have been a dreamy Tom Lawrenson.
And you have been an effervescent Lukas Kirkby.
Goodbye.
Pottervision.
Thank you for listening to the Pottervision podcast. The music was performed by Jack Evans. If you'd like bonus content and to support the show, you can visit patreon.com/Pottervision.